Good morning students. Now we are going to discuss about the 7th prose, that is the topic a birthday letter. Okay, 7th prose, a birthday letter. Birthday. This letter is written by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, you all know who is Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, so you all know about him very well. Okay, we will have a small introduction about him. Jawaharlal Nehru was born in 14th November 1889, just a few days before we had celebrated our Children's Day. He was born on 14th November in the year 1887, and he was passed away on 27th May in the year of 1964. Okay, you have to know this. Okay, was the first Prime Minister of India and the central figure in Indian politics before and after independence. He was a very famous central figure, means he is a famous person in the politics of India even before the independence as well as the after independence, because he is the first Prime Minister of our country, first Prime Minister of our India, independent India, first Prime Minister. Of our independent India. So he have a great influence in before the independence as well as after the independence. He emerged as an eminent leader of the Indian independent movement under the tutelage of the Mahatma Gandhi, and served India as a Prime Minister for his established as an independent nation in 1947 until his death in 1964. So after the independence, at the year of 1944 till his death, he was the Prime Minister for his establishment of the independent nation in 1947 until his death in 1964. Okay. He was considered to be the architect of a modern Indian nation state. So he is architect, means he had designed the nation, the rules and regulations, or state, a sovereign, a socialist, secular and democratic republic. So he had played a very great role in implementing all this democratic, socialist, secularism, sovereignty. All he had played a very great role because of to create this India as a modern Indian nation. He also known as the Pandit Nehru. He also have a name as a Pandit Nehru. Pandit Nehru. Okay, and with while many Indian children knew him as Uncle Nehru. Indian children used to call him as a Uncle Nehru, Nehru Mama, Uncle Nehru. So while you are preparing for TNBC exams or any competitive exam, this information is very important for you. Okay, don't think why we want to learn all these things about the Nehru. When he born, who is his parents, and who is his daughter, and when he become the first Prime Minister, and who is our first Prime Minister. Lot of questions are there. Okay, the board. Let us see. It was a summer in 1928 when Jawaharlal Nehru began writing letter to his young daughter Indira. This is a birthday letter written by Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter Indira. Indira means Indira Gandhi. That's why they had given the name Indira. So you all might know who is Indira Gandhi. Who was in the Missouri at that time. In his letter, he speaks to his daughter on the wide range of the topics, including language, trade, history, geography, science, epics, and evolutions. So, in this letter, he had discussed about so many things, like he had discussed about the topics he had discussed about the language, and they had trade, he had explained about the trade, geography, history, science, epics and evolutions. Okay, so he had explained so many things in this language, in this lecture. Okay, like language, trade, history, geography, science, ethics and evolutions. When Indira was about turned to 30 in 1930. So, the age of the Indira Gandhi is 13 at the year of 1930. Okay. Nehru started sending her more detailed letters. These letters contain his understanding of the world when he wanted to be the further impact to his daughter. Even while he was in the prison, he wanted to make sure that her child is not devoted for her father's teaching. Over the next 4 years, Nehru continuously wrote to his daughter from the prison and his words are still inspiring. The letter written by Nehru was from the various prisons in the British India to his daughter Indira was published in 1942 as a book called Grimbles of the World History. Okay, it was the collections of 196 letters on the world history. Okay, that is a book which is under the name of World History. It consists of 196 letters are there. Okay, it was published in the year 1942. Okay, so the letter, what are the letter he had written to his daughter, that all the letter that was published in the name of the Grimbles of the World History, it consists of 196 letters in the year 1942. Okay, so still if you read that, still today it will inspire us, those who are reading that letter. Okay, if you find time, you Google it and you can read the letter what Nehru had written for the Indira Gandhi. If you get the possibilities, just read it. Okay, so here now read the letter from the Jawaharlal Nehru to his daughter Indira. So they had given the letter, it was published here, it was written there, we will see. See how he had written. Central prison, Naini is a place, then from the central prison he is writing the letter on October 26, 1913. So October 26, 1930 he was writing the letter. Okay, when he had written the letter at the year of October 13. These are the simple notes you have to remember. Okay, which place he had written the letter, that you may, they will ask you in the one word. Okay, what is the name of the book they had published in which year and how many letters it consists of. See, so many questions are there. Okay, this letter is written on October 26, 1930. From which place? Central prison from Naini. Naini is a place. From that central prison he had written the letter to her. Okay, see, let us read the letter. My dear Indra, on your birthday you have been in the habit of receiving the presents and good wishes. Usually we all have a habit. When we have a birthday, our mother, father or our friends and relatives, they will wish us and as well as they will give us some presents. So it is a habit. So like us, she also have the habit. Good wishes you will still have a full measure. But what presents can I send for you from the Naini prison? So he is wishing, full measure means wholeheartedly I am wishing you. But because he is in the prison, he can't able to send any present to her. So he is making as a question. My presents cannot be very material or solid. They can be the mind and the spirit. Things that even the high wall of the prison cannot stop. So now Nehru is not sending any materialistic or solid present to Indira Gandhi, to his daughter. He is sending the present in the form of mind and the spirit, and that things even can't able to stop by the high wall of the prison. Okay, see, you know, sweetheart, how I dislike sermonizing and doling out good advice. So now, you know, sweetheart, he is starting the message. You know, sweetheart, he is calling his daughter as a sweetheart. How I dislike sermonizing. Sermonizing means simply we are giving advice of the moral and we won't follow that, simply we will give the advice to the other. That is a sermonizing. In religious way we will give some moral instruction, that is. Doling means just we are distributing. Only he himself, she know very well that he himself dislike sermonizing and giving good advice. I have always thought that the better way to find out what is right and what is not right, what should be done and what should not be done, is not by giving a sermon. So the best way, what we want to do or what we don't want to do, which is right and which is not right, that cannot be done by sermonizing. So the only thing, by talking and discussing, and out of discussion something, a little bit of truth comes out. I have liked my talks with you and we have discussed many things, but the world is wide and beyond our world lies another wonderful and mysterious world. None of us need even be bored or imagine that we had learned everything worth learning and becoming very wise. So around our world so many things are there. If we talk, if we sit and discuss, and out of discussion we will get some truth, this may be and that might be. Okay, so many wonders are there beyond the earth and so many mysteries are there to find out throughout our world. So none of us need we ever be bored or imagining that we learn anything worthwhile learning and becoming very wise. So we should not get bored of learning. Okay, so we can learn through learning, and become by learning something we will become very wise. Okay, we have learned everything worth, we have to learn everything, but the useful thing we have to learn worth learning, and we will become wise. தேவையானதை தரமானதை கற்றுக்கிட்டு அறிவாளியாக மாறணும். Father is good. But what am I to do then? A letter can hardly take a place of the talk, as at best it is one-side affair. Imagine that I have made the suggestion to you for you to think over, and as if we really were having a talk. So it is a one-side affair. If you sit together, that is a two-way communication. This also, the video class is also a one-side affair. Just I am telling everything, whether you are listening or whether you are replying, whether you are understanding or not. No. Likewise, the letter writing is also a one-side affair. Just I am giving the hint. If you the opposite person, those who are going to receive them, they can read and but they can express. Okay. So reply we can send, then we can understand what you had understand or not. Likewise, imagine that I have made a suggestion to you for you to think over. So now the father had given some suggestion, not a order. He had given some suggestion to her daughter, to his daughter, as if we are really having to talk. What are the things really we want to discuss, that he had written in a letter. In history, we read a great period in the life of the nations, of the great men and the women who know. Do you remember how fascinated you were when you first read about the Joan of Arc and how your ambition was to do something like her? Ordinary men and the women were not usual heroic. They think of their bread and the butter, of their children, of their household worries and that like. But the times comes when the whole people become interested in the great cause. Then the history helps even simple ordinary men and women to become the heroes. So the ordinary, once she read the life of the Joan of Arc, she is a character in Bible. So after reading her reading her life history, there is she got some ambition. She developed some ambition that she has to follow the role model of her. If we read some people's life history, or we will read somebody's life stories, then automatically we also inspired by them and we also started to follow their footprints. Likewise, in the Indian history we are reading about the so many men and the women, if the usual men are not become heroic, if ordinary men and women, what they will do, they will think of the butter and the bread. It means they will think of their daily livelihood, of their family, children and their household worries, dump them. When they come out, when the time comes when the whole people become interested in great cause, if no one is ready to fight for any social problem, what happen? It will happen, it will continue, the happening of the things will continue. But if you think and if you fought for that, or if you fought for our right or something, if any great causes occurs, what happen? Automatically this ordinary men and women, they will think in a different way, and that makes the history helps them to become heroes. Like the great leaders have sometimes in them which inspires the whole people and make them to do the great deeds. So some life of some great leaders like Gandhiji, Nehruji, Netaji, so many people, they have fought for the freedom of our nation. So the people, those who are living the ordinary life, they got inspired by the deed means sale, actions or activity which done by the great leader. They inspired by the great leaders and they started to follow their principles. In India, the great leader, full of love for all who suffer and eager to help them, has inspired our people to have great action and the noble sacrifice. He has helped to make the starving and the poor and oppressed free and happy. So the people, those who have a love, full of love for all people suffered, and they have a love for the people. If we have a love for the people, then only we can fight for the welfare of the people. If we don't bother or worry about the suffering of the people, definitely we won't think or we won't do any actions, and our inspiration will not inspire them. So such types of peoples, they had, by their action, they had sacrificed their life and they helped the people, those who are starving. Starving means starving, starving means dying because of lack of food. Okay, starving. They are dying because of lack of food. Okay, that is the starving. And see, and how they deed means the act, oppressed. Oppressed is a meaning they had given at the back of a book. Oppressed means they are going against. This is the starving means dying because of lack of food. Because of hungry, we can use hungry. And oppressed means the government in an unfair or the cruel way, they will prevent it from having opportunity and the freedom, not giving any freedom and opportunity. Okay, not giving any freedom or opportunities for them. So they are not ready to give any freedom. The government officers, they are not ready to give. So such leaders, they are worried about the welfare of the people, and they fought, and their activity inspired the people, and the normal ordinary men were started to follow the footprints of the great leaders. Babuji is in the prison, but the magic of his message has stolen the heart of Indians. Millions, men and women, even the little children came out of their little shell and become the Indian soldier of freedom. So Babuji means, Babuji is another, how the Nehru has a Uncle Nehru or the Pandit Nehru, likewise Babuji refers to Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, Babuji, that is Gandhiji, Gandhiji. Another name of the Gandhiji is Babuji. Okay, so his message had stolen the hearts of millions of the ordinary men and the women. Not only the men and the women, even the little children, they came out of the shell. Means they came out of their little surrounding, and they came out from that, and they had achieved, they had joined in the freedom struggle. In India today we are making history, and you and I are fortunate to see this happening because our eyes has to take some part ourselves in this great drama. So throughout the our country they are making the history, even we can see that by our eyes. So there are so many changes are taking place. Okay, the drama means the incident which is happening around our nation, that is the drama. If we are to be the Indian soldier, we have to respect the Indian honor, and that honors is sacred trust. It is not easy matter to decide what is right and what is not. One little test I shall ask you to apply whenever you are in the doubt. Never do anything in secret or anything that you would like to wish to hide. For the desire to hide anything means that you are afraid or fear is a bad thing and unworthy to you. Be brave and all the rest follows. So now he had given the advice. If we are to be the Indian soldier, we have to respect Indian honors. That honors is a sacred, that is a sacred punidamana, holy trust. So if you want, if we are the Indian soldier, we have to respect our Indian rules and regulations. That is very sacred to us. So it is easy, it is not easy, it is no easy matter to discuss what is right and what is wrong. It is not easy. So one little test I shall ask you to apply whether you are in the doubt. So now the Nehru had written to her daughter, if she is in the one little test he is going to ask for, conduct for him, that if you are in the doubt or if your mind is not stable, never do anything in secret. We should not do anything in a secret, or anything you would wish to hide. We should not hide anything. So if you are, for the desire to hide anything means that you are afraid. If you are worried, if you are fear, when we will afraid, when we do some mistakes, then only we will afraid. If you hide something, definitely it is not good. It means, okay. For the desire to hide anything means that you are afraid, and the fear is a bad thing and unworthy to you. So it is not good to you. The thing which you are fear to do, that is not good. So it means that you are doing something mistake. So how you want to be? You want to be brave, and all the rest follows. So if you are brave, really all the things will happen automatically. If you think to hide something, definitely automatically we will go and get into any problematic situation. So you know that is our great freedom movement under Babuji's leadership. There is no room for the secrecy or hiding. So under freedom movement under Babuji's Gandhiji leadership, there is he won't hide anything. Everything is happening very out for. He have nothing to hide. He was not afraid to what he was doing or what he says. So he was not afraid of anything. Simply he will very bold. He will declare what he want to do or what he want to say. He works in the sun and in the light. Even so, in the private lives, let him makes the friends with the sun and the work in the light, and do nothing secretly. And if you do so, my dear, you will grow up as a child of the light and unafraid and serene and unruffled whatever may happen. So now the advice to his daughter, that what like Gandhiji, he don't have any secrecy. He is work under the sun and the light means he will work everything. He will take decision everything in a open. Okay. So likewise, he is also giving the advice to his daughter that she wants to be bold and she wants to very brave, and she not afraid of anything, and she has to do everything in a proper way, not in a secret way. I have written a very long letter to you, and yet there is so much I would like to tell you. How can a letter contain it? Goodbye, little one, and maybe grow up into the brave soldier in the Indian service. With all love and good wishes, your loving father, Jawaharlal Nehru. So the wish, because he had given so many advices, he had talked about the history. As I said, the letter consists of history, geography, language, everything. So he had used the language in very good way, and he had explained about the history and the geography and the science and technology, everything he had explained there, trade and everything. So the last wish that he had given the advice, you want to be brave and you should not afraid anything, you should not hide anything. So if you are brave, definitely everything will follow us. So he had given some examples of Gandhiji's life history also, and he had given the life history of the men and the ordinary men and the women. He had explained the lives of them, and he had given the advice at the end how she wants to be. She wants to grow as a brave soldier in Indian service. So in India, how she wants to grow as a brave soldier. That is the advice given by Nehru to his daughter Indira Gandhi. Okay. And again, after this, at the page number 180, you have a short answers and paragraph. So you read the text well and answer this question, short answer and the paragraph. Write the answers for the short answer at page number 180 and page number 182. You write and page number 180 and 81. You write the answer, send the photocopy to my WhatsApp number. I hope you had understand and you enjoyed the letter written by Nehruji to his daughter Indira. Thank you, my dear students.